I understand. I will rewrite it as one simple continuous story, without part headings, without sections, and without numbering. The moment I saw the meeting invitation on my computer screen, I knew something was wrong. The title said, Corporate Restructuring Meeting. Those words sounded harmless, but after 15 years working for the company, I knew what they usually meant. Companies used polite words when they wanted to hide difficult decisions. I sat there staring at the invitation, wondering why my name was included with so many executives. I had spent my entire career protecting that company. My name is Victoria. And for 15 years, I was the person responsible for making sure everything was done correctly. I handled government contracts, checked regulations, reviewed documents, and made sure the company followed every rule required for federal projects. It was not a glamorous job. Nobody celebrated the person who checked thousands of pages of paperwork. Nobody noticed the nights spent reviewing contracts or the weekends spent fixing problems before they became disasters. But my work mattered because of my attention to detail. The company won some of its biggest government contracts. The largest one was worth $340 million. That contract existed because every requirement was followed perfectly. Every signature. Every approval. Every legal detail. I was the person who made sure the company never failed an important inspection. But then Preston Thorne entered the picture. Preston was the founder's son. He was young, confident, and had recently gained a powerful position in the company. The first time I met him, I knew he was different from the leaders I respected. He had confidence, but not experience. He wore expensive clothes and spoke like he knew everything. But he had never spent years solving the difficult problems that kept the company alive. When he walked into the restructuring meeting, he acted like the future of the company depended completely on him. He stood at the front of the room and showed everyone his presentation. He talked about modernization, automation, new ideas, faster systems. Then he started talking about old methods. He looked directly at Emmy. Our company cannot continue depending on outdated processes, he said. Everyone knew what he meant. He believed my work was outdated. For 15 years, I had protected the company from mistakes that could cost millions. But Preston believed software could replace experience. He explained that new technology would make human involvement unnecessary. I listened quietly. I wanted to tell him that technology was useful, but it could never replace judgment. A computer could process information, but it could not understand years of experience. It could not recognize a problem before it happened. It could not sit across from a government auditor and explain why a decision was correct. But I said nothing. After his presentation, the human resources director looked uncomfortable. She opened a folder. Victoria, the company is making some changes, she said. I looked at her. Are you saying I am being removed from my position? Nobody answered. That silence told me everything. 2 days later, my office was gone. The office I had worked in for years was given to a young consultant who had barely started at the company. My new desk was placed in the main lobby. Right beside the reception area. Preston came to explain. This is actually a very important position, he said with a smile. You will have more interaction with everyone. I looked at the small desk near the entrance. After 15 years of protecting the company's biggest contracts, I was now sitting where visitors checked in, but I did not argue. I simply thanked him and sat down. Preston thought I had accepted defeat. He was wrong. From that desk, I watched everything, and I started noticing the problems. Preston removed experienced employees and replaced them with people who looked impressive but lacked knowledge. He replaced our trusted legal team with his friend Vance. Vance was confident, but he did not understand